Welcome to Next Step Advanced Sketching Techniques. Today, students, we're going to learn how to sketch out a photorealistic ballerina scene. All right, let's get started. So unfortunately, my graphite sketching device is in the shop once again, and I'm running out of linear distance or space for that. So hopefully I can secure some funds, save up to purchase another. Today we're going to use a liquid ink displacer art pen. I do have some of these for sale. If you'd like to message me with your home address, I will, and your credit card number. Also, I do need the 4-digit PIN, so please include that. Just put that in a YouTube post, and we will. I will send you one out immediately. All right, let's get started. So a ballerina is going to have hair. We're going to start with that, and her hair is going to be put up in a scrunchie or a ponytail, so it's not in her face as she's jumping about the stage. Ballerinas love attention. And this is just to kind of show the billions of strands of hair. Of course, we wouldn't have time to sketch all of those. And ballerinas are going to have ears. Now you'll notice here that the ear is essentially the letter B shape, and the other ear is another letter B, but just flipped upside down with respect to the horizontal longitudinal plane. Ballerinas are going to have a little bit of a furrowed brow because they're almost like ducks paddling feverishly beyond this, below the surface, but they look graceful. Ballerinas also have eyelashes. And now the hardest part of all to draw, the human nose. If you can't get this step, we do need dark holes in our ears because light does not reach the inside of our ears, correct? Correct. Ballerinas are also going to have pretty lips with lipstick. We want to make sure we're symmetrical and we're proportioning our sizes. Ballerinas do not have Adam's apples because they are female. Ballerinas are going to be touching their waist. This is called a touche. And they're going to have real fluffy, scruffy ballerina tops. You can see here she has her fingers folded in. Now ballerinas also are going to have, of course, two legs like everybody else. A kneecap is just a letter C, one of the tricks of the trade. And they're going to have soft-soled shoes. Now she's doing a particular ballerina dance twirl here. Now we can't draw action. That's one of the things I want to stress to my students. Unfortunately, we can't draw action, but we can draw action lines. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how. Now notice the threshold between her left foot slipper and her leg is just the letter C, which is rotated 720 degrees with respect to the horizontal plane. Some ballerinas prefer to grow their hair out on their legs. That's really a cultural preference. We'll say that ours does indeed grow them out. And ballerinas are certainly going to paint their fingernails. And remember, your thumb is the smallest of your fingers, and it's going to be located on the inside. So make sure it's located on the inside. Now's when the fun begins. We're just going to add some decor, some detail to the ballerina skirt. That's what it's called. And for the, we need to do the straps for her ballerina dress, otherwise it would fall down and there would be a lot of giggles in the crowd. And then she needs what's called a dancing platform to dance from. She needs to be raised up higher than the crowd. So we're just going to draw a kind of a squared off rectangle. With some, of course, legs, not human legs, but there's another word for legs, another meaning for legs besides those that we walk upon and dance upon. We can't see this leg, so what we can do is a little trick called glazing. We're just going to kind of add a glaze so we can appreciate the realism here that there are indeed 4 legs, otherwise it would tip over and then this lady would fall. All right, now if she's performing in a theater, we're going to have these big draped curtains. And there's going to be these long golden curtain string pull things to be able to pull the curtain. And beyond this, we can just kind of color in some darkness. And maybe somebody, you can see somebody, maybe a stagehand ready to give further direction or to move the night along. So that's most likely what this person is doing. And they're probably going to have nice white teeth if they're on stage. And then we can draw some audience members because most ballerinas are not going to perform for themselves. They're doing it for attention. We can draw some audience members. This is beyond embarrassing. My writing device is failing me. I will not lose my temper today because the whole reason I'm here is because of useful art. And art is not useful if we can't control our emotions. This person is just going to have their hands in their lap. Oh, we need to go back and draw our action line, so we're just going to do a series of kind of steamrolled letter C's. And for this elbow, pardon, her left elbow, so from our perspective, her right elbow, we're just going to do some lowercase letter i's without the dot. But we don't want to waste the dot, so we can take that lowercase letter I. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9 lowercase letter i's. Let's place them here and give this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to give some facial hair to the stagehand. Well, you're not just going to have one person in the audience. And remember, as we get closer to the art taster's perspective, so basically you or whoever's looking at this, we want to draw the chairs bigger. And as you can see, this chair, the chair proper, not the legs, is an upside down, vertically flipped, with respect to the vertical axis flipped, number 7. And I've replicated that shape here. I've just drawn it bigger. Now, of course, from time to time, you're going to have people turn their heads in the audience. So that's one of the things I want to stress to my students is realism. Not everybody's going to be staring like a statue at the ballerina. Maybe this person heard something in the audience, a noise which alarmed him or her. We'll say him. So we can draw that. His head's turned. He's got some of these fancy, expensive sneakers. I saw some of the high school kids wear where I went to high school. Almost looks like he's telling us something, like, pay attention to the ballerina. That's my sister, or that's my mother. Quit drawing. And then back behind this lady, We can draw maybe this lady's front row, maybe she has a ton of money, so she has enough money to buy a seat for her kitty cat. Now remember, cats are going to be very similar to the tiger because genetically they are the same. It's just cats. If you remember the town crier scene, if you don't, please take a look. Learn a little bit about cats. They're the same as tigers. Maybe this cat's alarmed because it's unsure what to make of this ballerina. Or it thinks maybe this is for playing. All right, just going to slide this down over here. At most of these types of places, they're going to have refreshments, but they're not going to put the refreshments to block the view of the entertainment. So we're just going to shift our kiosk right here, and perhaps they're selling souvenir cups, hot dogs, French fries, that type of thing. So we can just draw a $sign here to let people know, bring your money, buy some ballerina food while you're watching. I almost had a job before in my life, like our job where I interacted with people, and it was actually selling refreshments at this type of place. I got as far as filling out the application, but I did never hear back. That's one of the things I regret, is not having that normal job like everybody else has had. We can draw some cups here. You know, it's okay not to, we're not violating the third dimension by not drawing behind these, because we're looking straight on to this guy. And of course, under the table, we'll be able to see the feet. It's going to just make it more real. All right, maybe he's selling some hot dogs. Hot dogs are a little tricky to draw. Please pause if you just want to watch this part and practice on your own time. If you're just joining us, we're drawing a ballerina scene for a ballerina play. We're just going to go back and add some lines here to our curtains to make this more realistic. These are the golden curtain pulls right there. And this just shows that the curtains are pleated. Now she's on a platform, this ballerina, so we're going to go back and we're going to add some wood. Wood, W-O-O-D. It's just another word to describe the bones of a tree. Trees have bones just like you and I. Not you and I, the letters of the alphabet, you and I, the person or people that are listening, and myself. My grandmother's friend, my grandmother had a good friend who I consider family, and he would argue that there were 27 letters of the alphabet. And from a young age, I begged and begged for him to tell me what it was. And he would try to broker deals, and I would do all the things he wanted, but he would always make an excuse. He would never tell me that 27th letter. I suspect now that not everybody knows of this letter, and only certain people are gifted with knowing it. I do believe that there is a fourth letter, or a 27th letter. Just yet to see it, but I suspect I will. Maybe underneath the stagehand there is somebody that is recording some video from an interesting perspective. So maybe for a documentary on ballerinaing. Just the verb form of ballerinaing is ballerinaing. And you're going to have the eye kind of focused in, some eyelashes. Of course, the ear's going to have a dark spot for the ear hole. And everybody's got a nose and a lip. And maybe this person had shaved hair, but beautiful jetting hair coming out the back. This looks like this was a choice to grow their hair this way. This is just a camera with buttons. And Adam's apple, because this appears to be a masculine man. The other hand is going to be raised up. I'm not trying to be arrogant when I draw this way. Please don't feel like you have to keep up. And maybe he doesn't want to distract the crowd, so his legs are curled off to the side. Maybe there's just a little hole, so he'll be able to get a good view of the ballerina. Now, the ballerina is going to dance to music, modern music, dance music, jazz music, festive music. Now, we can't draw music and we can't draw sound. We can draw sound lines and we can draw music lines and we can draw music notes. We're going to do that now. We're going to do a lowercase letter b, which is mirrored or flipped. And then we're just going to draw 1/2 of an upside down V. And we're going to repeat this process. And then we're going to repeat it for a 4th time. You can also darken these in as well. This just means to emphasize this note more than this note. So basically 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3 in that order. All right, now let's draw some audience members which are facing from our view. And I always wanted to attend the ballet and even participate in the ballet, so I'm going to draw me as a young man. Feel free to draw yourself. I had perfectly parted hair, something I was very proud of. Not sure why the ladies did not. I think if I find the right lady, they will appreciate that. And then, of course, a chair to sit on, and my hands were most likely in my lap. And then it's likely my grandmother would have been beside me, so we can draw her. And as you all know, she wore a ghost costume everywhere she went, all the time, home or outside of home, grocery store. She didn't get out a lot. The only time she did wear her ghost costume was on Halloween, which makes sense. Her arms will be in front of her, and then she has a chair here. And then my grandmother's friend, I'd like to, whoops, I'll just redo that. I consider him family. And he would shave his hair with a razor. I wasn't allowed to even look at a razor, but he was man enough to use one. And he had this, he styled his hair in a way that he had these long, beautiful locks coming down. But he shaved everything else. And I bet he would be humming, looking forward to coming home and banging on those pots and pans. He didn't like to wear a shirt, but I suspect he would have had to here, but we'll go ahead and honor his, that he did not like to wear a shirt. What else do we need here? Well, we need a pathway to get to the stage. The ballerina. And we're probably going to need a clock for the audience to know what time it is. And maybe a stand right there. All right, now it's time to grab your coloring markers. You have exactly 5 seconds. If not, we're going to keep moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Today I've chosen the color yellow. It's definitely my favorite color. If you don't have yellow, you can choose another color. As my students know, I do not prefer the color green. Now we could say that this ballerina's hair was yellow, which is basically cartoon blonde. Most ballerinas are going to wear pretty dresses, dress tops, but they don't wear underwear. But their dress skirt is long enough to cover the private area. Perhaps this person is not yellow, so we won't color them, but maybe this lady has a yellow tint, and maybe some yellow shoes. Some cats are certainly yellow. Maybe this gentleman has a yellow shirt on. And maybe this is not a drink, but some mustard for the hot dog. Oh, and we said golden curtain pullers. That's pretty close to being yellow, isn't it? Correct? Correct. And maybe this gentleman also had yellow pants and yellow shoes. My grandmother wore a white sheet for her ghost costume, but my grandmother's friend did have a, especially later on in his life, had a yellow tint. So we can certainly draw that yellow. These chairs can be yellow. We can go ahead and do that. And this gentleman's hair also could be yellow, as well as his shoes. We can go ahead and color the Adam's apple yellow, just for changing things up a bit. Wood can have a yellowish tint to it. And it looks like we're finished. All right, so in summation and in review, we have sketched out a photorealistic ballerina scene at a theater. To those of you that were unable to attain the level of skill that you see here today upon this page, do not fret. Just continue and don't give up. One day you will achieve this level of sophistication. I've been doing this for a long time. If you do have any questions, please do not fret or do not hesitate to message me in the YouTube chat face function algorithm interface, and I will respond. For those of you that still would like to come for the contest, go ahead and send me your home address. And for those that would like a pen, please include your home address, your credit card number. Oh, I do need the expiration date, as well as the 4-digit PIN. On American Express, that 4-digit PIN is going to be on the front. All right, well, as I always say, I hope you have a rest of your day.